Hello! Hi everyone! I'm just going to take a second here to make sure everything is working. I hope everything is coming through. Okay, happy Friday, everyone. I hope you've had some nice things happen this week and that you are ready for a nourishing weekend ahead. I'm here today because I wanted to talk about food rules. We're going to talk about what exactly I mean when I say food rules, and then we're going to talk about why you have them and the purpose that they play, and then we're going to get into ways to start letting them go. So, if you're popping in, let me know you're here. Give me a little heart, or if you're watching this on replay, let me know in the comments, #replay, and let me know if any of this resonates with you. So let's start. What do I mean when I say food rule? So a food rule is essentially any food that you believe is off limits, that it's not allowed, or that you shouldn't have in your diet, that you shouldn't eat. Food rules can also be more patterns to do with your eating, so they can revolve around timing. Do you believe that you have to eat only at certain times? Or do you believe that there must be a certain amount of time in between your meals or your snacks? Portioning and measurements or balancing things out. Do you believe that you're only allowed to have one serving of a specific macronutrient or specific food within a day or another time frame? So these are all food rules. And the thing is that food rules can become very, very sneaky. Chances are, if you've been following these rules for a significant amount of time, they've just kind of become the way things are. Or the messaging out there in the world from diet culture about what we should and shouldn't be having have become so mainstream and so ingrained that, again, it just kind of becomes what we're supposed to do. And we can really easily lose sight of the fact that this is actually a rule that we are believing in and following. So, why do we have them? Well, as a woman in this society who has been brought up in what I like to call good girl syndrome, you have been taught and learned to believe that rules are good. You've learned to believe that rules are admirable, and that following rules is probably what got you some recognition, or got you seen, or got you the better grades. Rules are also, they are objective and they're measurable, which becomes a way of keeping us in line. And again, as a woman, we have been taught that that's what we're supposed to do, that we're supposed to stay in line, that we aren't supposed to cross boundaries, we're supposed to stay in our place and not make a scene, to be good. Those are the messages that we are taught ever since we're little. I'm sure you can think of many times when you've heard good girl. So, rules also give us an illusion or a sense of control. And they help us feel like if we follow them, nothing bad is going to happen. We all yearn for this. As a human, we yearn for this type of protection. We all want to find a way to have this superpower, this thing that'll help ensure that nothing bad is going to happen to us in the future. And if rules become a way that we can feel this, then we're going to follow them. But really, this idea about rules that we've been led to believe is really backwards. Because if we start listening to rules and what other people tell us, in a sense, we are handing over our control. We're saying, here's my control, I'll listen to you instead. And so following rules actually becomes, or actually can lead to feeling out of control in your life, because you are no longer listening to your own intuition. Following rules also sends signals to our body that says, I guess we can't be trusted. Following other rules reinforces the idea to ourselves that we can't be trusted. So every time you follow a rule dictated by somewhere else, instead of listening to your own intuition and your own needs, your body is literally getting the message that says, oh, she didn't listen to her own intuition. I guess that means her intuition can't be trusted. And so they reinforce that belief, and it becomes a vicious cycle. A question I really encourage you to ask yourself is, who is benefiting from me following these rules? Take a pen, take a paper right now, write down that question. Who is benefiting from me following these rules? Next, so why do we need to start working on letting them go? Well, like I just talked about, you need to get back your control. Following rules, like I said, can lead to feeling out of control in your life. And it's that feeling of out of control when we aren't listening to our own intuition that can lead us to needing these other forms of release and needing these other coping mechanisms. See how it's all backwards? And we need to learn to let go of these rules in order to reteach our body and ourselves that we can be trusted. Every step you take when you listen to your own intuition is strengthening that belief that you have that, yes, I can be trusted. You also need to let go of food rules to literally just begin to reprogram your body to believe that that food that you have placed off limits is actually nothing to be afraid of. Your body needs to learn through action. And so by having these foods and breaking these rules, that is how your body will begin to learn, oh, I don't need to be afraid of this thing. So how do we start this work of letting go of these rules that have become kind of ingrained and just part of our way of being? Well, the first step is you need to become aware of them. You need to become aware of the rules that you have. Like I said, these food rules can be really sneaky, and maybe you don't even recognize you're following them. So to start, I want you to take a pen and a paper, take 5 or so minutes, and just do a big brain dump. Just take time to write down all the foods that you believe are off limits, that you shouldn't eat for whatever reason, or simply foods that you haven't had in a really long time. And I want you to do this because this is where we need to begin to ask that question. Am I not eating this food because of actual preference, or because my body actually doesn't feel good with it? Or is there an underlying fear or belief underneath it? So first, write a list, become aware of all these foods that have been placed off limits. Then, the next step is to plan and challenge. So, like I said, you need to start challenge yourself to have these foods, to begin to start asking that question and to begin to explore your relationship with that food and why it is a rule. I highly encourage you to get in the habit of planning. There's a high chance that eating these foods that have been off limits will bring up some hypervigilance or some anxiety. And so I need you to plan in strategies and tools that are going to enable you to take this challenge and also to calm down your body while you're doing it. We need your body to be in a calm, healthy place so that you can be able to assess from your healthy mind. So choose the food that you're going to have. Maybe you want to make a hierarchy list. A lot of my clients make a hierarchy of the order of foods that they feel willing to try. Then you're going to choose the food that you're going to have. And then I want you to do some sort of planning. Maybe you plan in 5 minutes ahead of when you're going to have this food to do some breathing or a short meditation or visualization. Or maybe you make a plan to have this food or this meal or eat at a certain different time with someone else. So with a partner or a family member or a friend. Um, Maybe you have some thought work tools and you plan in your script. So you plan a couple phrases or healthy statements that you know you can tell yourself in the moment that remind you why you can have this food and why your body knows what to do and why this is a healthy thing for you to do. So do some planning. Set yourself up for success. The next step is to have the food. Like I said, you just need to jump in and have it. But with these tools to keep it safe and calm while doing so. But you need to have the food to reprogram your body and teach it that it's nothing to be scared of. And then the last piece of the puzzle is to assess. So this is where you get to honestly ask yourself, how was it for me? Did I enjoy it? If you're having thoughts in your head about guilt or anything else, see how your body feels. Ask yourself, where is that thought coming from? Is it coming from a belief or a story I've been telling myself? Is it coming from what diet culture has told me? Or is it coming from somewhere else? So honestly assess. And then, given that there were no, physical symptoms that you may need to seek other forms of care about, then you need to repeat. Then you need to keep having this food. Keep planning it into your day or your week because the body will not learn after just one go. It's going to need more proof. So you need to keep having this food until it no longer has any hold over you. You need to keep having this food or breaking this rule until there are no negative thoughts or fears or judgments attached to it. Because that is how you will then break free from it. So to recap, have compassion for yourself and why you have these rules. They've been there for a reason, and it's good that you want to protect yourself, and now we just need to tell your body that you can do it a different way. 2, become aware. Write that big old list. Write out all the foods that you think are off limits. 3, make some plans. Plan to have a certain food and plan in any strategies you may need to help you do so. And then 4, honestly assess from your healthy mind and repeat. Okay, let me know in the comments if any of this resonated with you, or let me know in the comments if there's a rule or a food that you're trying or you just want to be able to break. A food that you know deep down that you want to have and you want to break free from, but maybe you just haven't been able to get there. Let us know what you're working on. And make a plan for this weekend. Choose one of those foods. Choose to have it. Give yourself that gift of nourishment. And I hope you do have a lovely weekend. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.